Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our Israelite Advanced Bible Study night, Tuesday night, July 16th. Okay, we'll be dealing with the death of Isaac, and that's in the Jubilees, Book of Jubilees. Okay, you can go to our YouTube, to our channel, Prophets of Awakening. Check out our videos. We have over 1,000 videos with a lot of information in it. And this information within these videos will connect dots for you and lead you into the truth of the Holy Scriptures. And if you like what you're hearing and receiving on this channel and on these videos, I'm asking you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay? For those that want to support the channel, we have our Cash App at the bottom of the screen. It'd be greatly appreciated. Okay? We're on Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights from 7 to 9 Central Time. And then we're on Friday nights from 7 to 9 Central Time. And so we're on Clubhouse app. And our room, title of the room is Non-Masonic Conversations. So you want to check that out and get involved in that. It's good. So, and then we have two Bible Sabbath classes on Saturdays. One in the morning, 10 to 12 a.m. Then we close the Shabbat out every Saturday from 6 to 7 p.m. Okay. With that being said, this is a non-Messianic channel. And by that I mean that we only deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh being the Old Testament, the so-called Book of Remembrance, and the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses by our Redeemer, the Lord of Hosts. Okay. Shalom and welcome to the channel, and welcome to our Israelite Advanced Bible Study. Okay. We're going to do our normal, which is a moment of silence, prayer, we read the Psalms, and we have some current events to try to keep everybody up abreast with what's happening around the world and how it's tied to Bible and tied to the end time. Okay, then we have a little need to know information. Then we open it up for some Q&A or comments or dialogue. Then we're going to our topic, which is today the Book of Jubilees, and we're dealing with the things surrounding Isaac's death. And what I'm going to do with that is tie it to Scripture. Okay, some of it came to pass, and some of it we're still waiting on. We're going to start reading out of Jubilees chapter 37. Okay, so with that being said, moment of silence is for the Lord of Hosts, our Redeemer, our Savior, and all that He's doing, along with the Creator, to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. Oh Lord, we come today, bow down, honoring you, praising you, and believing in you. And we thank you for your wisdom and knowledge that you have poured out upon us. And we see you now within the Holy Scriptures, oh Lord, and we trust you with all our heart and all our soul. Keep not that silence any longer, for we need you so very much at this hour. Shine forth on our enemies with thy great power and thy great glory. Peace be unto you. Okay. Let me get the song right quick. Okay. Okay, I'll read Psalm 44. It's a song of Miskah, a song of Korah, right? It's a Psalm 44. Former deliverances and present troubles. We have heard with our ears, O Lord, O God, our fathers have told us what works thou did in their day, in the time of old, how thou didst drive out the heathen with thy hand and planted them, and how thou didst afflict the people and cast them out. For they go not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand and thine arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hadst favor unto them. Thou art my king, O God, command deliverance for Jacob. Through thee will we push down our enemies, and through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against thee. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hate us. In God we boast all the day long, and praise thy name forever. Selah. But thou hast cast off, and hast put us to shame, and goeth not forth with our enemies, with our armies. Thou makest us to turn back from our enemies, and they which hate us spoil for themselves. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. Thou settest thy people for naught, and doest not increase thy wealth by their price. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that hate that are round about us. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. My confusion is continually before me, and the shame of my face have covered me. For the voice of him that reproacheth and blasphemeth by the reason of thy enemy and avenger. Okay? All this is come upon us, yet have we not forgotten thee, neither have we dealt falsely in thy covenant. Our heart is not turned backwards, neither have our steps declined from thy way. Though thou hast sore broken us in the place of dragons, and covered us with the shadow of death, if we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, shall not God search this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. Yea, for thy sake are we killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for slaughter. Awake, why sleepest thou, O Lord? Arise, cast us not off forever. Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and forgettest our affliction and our oppression? For our soul is bowed down to the dust, our bellies cleave unto the earth. Arise for our help, and redeem us for thy mercy's sake. So that was Psalm 44. Okay, anybody got any comments on that? Psalm 44. Okay, what I want to do right here with this song, as I was reading it, I think I need to go in a little bit on it, because it's got a lot. It goes back and reflects on a lot of things that I think a lot of Hebrew Israelites don't understand. So let's go back and look at it and hit the high points. So this is Psalm 44, right? It says former deliverances and present troubles. And then it says, we have heard with our ears, O God. Our fathers have told us what works thou did in their days and the times of old. We talked about that, times of old. So that's back when Israel was in Egypt and he brought them out of Egypt and they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. He killed out some of them, then he brought them in the land of Israel and planted them. So that's what he's talking about. So we know that it was the angel of the Lord, the angel that was sent to Egypt. So how we know that? Let's go look at it and tie these scriptures in. So we go to Judges right quick. Okay. And we see in the book of Judges, chapter 2, I think it is. Yeah, chapter 2. So we see that it says, an angel of the Lord. came up from Gilgal to Beckham and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt. So his angel went to Egypt, not Yahweh. And he tell them, I want to talk about you out of Egypt, and I have brought you unto the land which I have sworn to your fathers. Right? So we see this angel went to Egypt. He the one with the 10 plagues, brought them out. He the one brought them in the land of Canaan. It's right here. That's what they're saying. I have brought you, this angel talking. I brought you into the land, which is the land of Canaan, which I swore unto your forefathers. So he the one that was dealing with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then he said, I said, I will never break my covenant with you. So we see right here in this Judges chapter 2, verse 1, it's got a whole truckload of information in it. It says that he got that covenant with them. He responsible for the covenant. And on his side, on his end, he says, I'll never break my covenant with you. So can't nobody else come and make no covenant because this who got the covenant. So what's another precept on this one? We go to Exodus 23, right? Let me get it. Yeah. Okay. Amen. Okay, yeah, yeah. Exodus chapter 3. No, Exodus chapter 20. Okay. And then we just saw in Judges chapter 2, the angel said that he's the one who brought the Israelites out of Egypt. And he's the one that brought them into the land of Canaan. And he's the one that had a covenant. And then we see right here how this all took place in Exodus chapter 23, right? And then verse 20. So he went to Mount Sinai. That's where the Lord hosts. That's where Yahweh came down. Creator came down on Mount Sinai, right? The angel then brought them from Egypt to Mount Sinai. And then when they get there, that's when the Lord comes down on top of Mount Sinai. And so the Creator there on mountain, Lord of hosts is there, and Moses and the Israelites is at the bottom of the mountain. That's the scene. So the Creator Yahweh tells Moses in chapter Exodus 23 and 20, behold, I sent an angel. So who we gonna listen to? Paul or Jesus, or you're gonna listen to the Creator? He just tells us right here, behold, I sent an angel before thee, to keep thee in the way, to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. So the angel just told you. All he doing, he the savior of Israel, he the redeemer. The Creator told him, go and get them out of Egypt and bring them to the land of Egypt. That's what he's telling right there. Behold, I sent an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. That's the land of Canaan. Then he tells them about the angel. Behold, beware of him, obey his voice, provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. So there's a whole lot of information right here. Let's break it down. So the Creator tells Moses to beware of this angel. Obey his voice. Everything he tells you, this is what he's talking to. Provoke him not. Why? Because he will not pardon your transgression, no sin. So this angel is overseeing. If anybody gonna have to die or whatever for Israel, it's got to be this angel right here. He's the one overseeing Israel's sin. And then the biggest part of it is, for my name is in him. So why is that so significant? Because the angel keeps telling them consistently, when you understand the makeup of what's going on, he tells them, my name, Creator name is in me. So I can't go outside of that. If I go outside of that, then I'm gonna be defiled. That's how we got cast off over here, because we put him in a position where he had to cast us off to keep from defiling himself, because he not only do we dwell on earth and dealing with the Israelites, but he also has to ascend and descend back and forth on the right-hand side of the Father. So he can't go back to heaven defiled. Before that happens, he gonna touch us, get our mind right, because he's not gonna allow the Israelites to get him defiled. So that's the whole purpose of this scenario where you keep on seeing the name, for my name's sake. My name's sake. It's because of this right here. Exodus 23 and 20. Yahweh tell Moses, behold, I sent an angel before thee. So he's sending them with him. He's on the right hand side of the Father from the beginning. So he says, he's not, now I have him, I gave Israel to him. He's inherited Israel on my account. So beware of him, obey his voice, for my name is in him. Okay, now let's go back to the Psalm. So we just dealt with Judges chapter 2, we just dealt with Exodus chapter 23 and 20, right? So let's go back to the Psalm and see if they don't connect. So he says in verse 2 of Psalm 44, how this is Kirah talking to the Creator, to the Lord of hosts. How thou didst drive out. See that? Judges chapter 2 and Exodus 23 answer this. How thou didst, tell you who this is. How thou didst drive out the heathen with thy hand and planted them, and how thou didst afflict the people and cast them out. So let's look at that. So it says, how did he afflict the people? So what do you mean by that? He afflicted the Canaanites. He afflicted all the people, the Egyptians. He afflicted them with the 10 plagues to bring Israel out. Because he got a mandate that the Creator gave him, was to deliver the Israelites out of Egypt and take them to the land of Canaan. All right? So keep going. Then he says, this Kirah talking, for they got not the land in possession by their own sword. So we telling you right here, they didn't get the land of Canaan by their own, by themselves, with their own hand. Neither did their own arm save them. But let's look at it. But thy right hand and thy arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hast a favor unto them. Right? So we got a favor unto the Israelites because of the Creator. He inherited Israel. So let's look at this right here, though. I want to show you this. They got not the land. They didn't get the land of Canaan in possession by their own sword. Neither did their own arm save them. He's talking to the Lord of hosts, right? But thy right hand, thy arm, and the light of thy countenance, because thou hast favor unto them. So what does he mean by thy right hand? So let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's look at this right here. Crush the lowly Christian. Okay, so we're in Deuteronomy 32. Right hand, right, says right hand. We're in Deuteronomy 32. So it says in verse 37, I'm going to start at verse 37, this Deuteronomy 32, Song of Moses. And he say, where are thy gods? Their rock in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their, he's talking to the Israelites, right? Okay, so he says, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices, drink the wine of their drink offering, let them rise up to help you and be your protection. Now here you go. This is the angel of the Lord, Michael, that went to Egypt to deliver the Israelites, brought them to Mount Sinai, to the Creator, right? 39, and he says, this is the Lord of hosts, see now that I, even I am he, not Jesus. That's why he's talking like this. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me, right? Ain't nobody else, ain't Jesus, nobody else. And I heal. So go watch the story they tell you about JC and the blind man and all this other stuff. I kill, I make alive, I wound. See that? I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hands. Now here you go, about the right hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven, and I say I live forever. So what are you talking about? Well, what the Israelites do when they want to deal with the Lord of hosts that's over them. Exodus 23 just told you that. It's an angel that's leading them. They've been instructed to deal with this angel and everything he say and everything he command. So the Israelites throw up their hands to him. So look what he's doing right here. This is the God of Israel, the angel of the Lord. See now that I, even I am he, there's no God with me. And it's going to tell you who he is. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. 40. For I, with my hand, see that? So say, for I lift up my hands to heaven. That's right, his hand. You know, I go to another verse. I'll show you how that works. I lift up my hands to heaven and say, I live forever. If I, with my glistening sword, right? Who got the sword? JC got a sword? No. We know who got the sword. If I, with my glistening sword in my hand, take hold of judgment, right? I will render vengeance to my enemies, and I will reward them that hate me. See that? So we see right here who it is. Michael L. with the sword, glistening sword. He says, I take hold of judgment, what we just read in Exodus 23, that he's overseeing, right? I take hold of judgment, and I will render vengeance to my enemies, and I will reward them that hate me. Now let's go to Daniel right quick. Still dealing with his right hand. Okay, so we're in Daniel right quick. Chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12. Okay, so my job is to show it to you. Creator is the one that deals with whether you get it or not, or your DNA. So anyway, Daniel chapter 12. And we start at verse 1. And at that time, Michael, right here, stand up, the great prince, was standing for the children of Israel. Go back to Exodus 23, Judges chapter 2. He said, I'm the one came. Now I'm the one he sent. Ain't Michael angel? So he says, and at that time shall Michael stand up. The great prince was standing for the children of our people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a time that a nation, even at that same time. And at that time the people shall be delivered. Everyone that's found written in the book. What book? The Old Testament. I know New Testament when this was wrote. New Testament is an ad lib. So anyway, let's go to the right hand. So then Daniel see these three angels, one on one bank of the river and one on the other bank of the river, and then you see one of the angels standing in the middle of the river on the water. And we're going to pick it up in verse 4. But thou, this is Daniel 12 and 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words. It's the angel of the Lord, Michael talking to Daniel. Shut up the words. Seal the book. See that? What book? The Old Testament. Seal the book. How you get the New Testament? So he says, but thou, Daniel, shut up the words, seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood the other two, one on this side of the bank of the river, and the other on that side of the bank of the river. And then verse 6, and one said to the man, clothed in linen, this the angel of the Lord, Michael, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall the end of these wonders be? Then verse 7, here we go. And I held up and I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river. This is the angel, Lord of hosts, Michael, when he held up his right hand, there it is. So that's how he said that the Israelites didn't get delivered out of Egypt, or they didn't take the land of Canaan by they swore, but by the right hand of the Lord. So let's look at what he's doing with his right hand. It says, verse 6, and one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall the end of these wonders be? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he had held up his right hand and his left hand under heaven. To who and ever? Yahweh, right? So he held up his right hand and his left hand under heaven, and swore by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time and a half a time, and he shall have accomplished to scatter the people of the holy people. All these things shall have finished. So we see right here what the right hand is. It's the angel of the Lord. The power is in his right hand. When he raised his right hand to the Creator, that's where his power comes from. So you say, what are you talking about? At the Red Sea, what did he tell Moses to do? Raise your right hand. Put the staff in the water and raise your right hand. We've got to keep in mind, the rest of the Israelites standing there, they can't see him. But Moses can see him. Right? So you say, well, what you talking about? Let's break that down. We go to, let's see where we at there. I think it's in Exodus. Let's go. Okay. And then it took me a long time. So here we go. Yeah, here we go. It's chapter 17, Exodus. So this is when they came to Moses struck the rock, right? So it says, I start at verse 1, chapter 17, verse 1. And all the excuse me, all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of sin. After that journey is according to the commandments of the Lord, and pitched in Redden, and there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses, and said, give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt the Lord? And the people thirsted for water, and the people murmured against Moses, and said, wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt, to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? Moses cried unto the Lord. See that? So who he talking to? Go back to Exodus 23 and 20. He ain't talking to Yahweh. He talking to this angel that the Lord left to be over them. He says, and the people, verse 4, Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, what shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. Now check it out. And the Lord said unto Moses, go on before the people, right? And take with thee the elders of Israel and thy rod wherewith thou smalt the river. I just told you that. He smalt the river when they crossed it. Take it in thine hand and go. Now here you go right here. And behold, this is the Lord host, the angel talking to him. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock at Horeb. And thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of all the elders of Israel. So right here, he's standing on the rock. He on top of the rock, but the people can't see him. But Moses see him. This is why Moses wasn't able to go into the land was only able to see the land, and he died on Mount Nebo, because this right here, when he got angry with the people, struck the rock, all they see is him. He looking like a god, but Moses see the Lord. The Lord, he know the Lord is one behind him. So that's in all the situations. He's talking to them. He's dealing with Moses. They don't even see him. Moses, he's showing him. He's making himself known to Moses, but the people don't see him. And that goes for the other prophets too. It's certain individuals that see him. That's why I say he appeared unto them. Okay? So let me read a couple more of these out of this psalm. Now let me see what this brother talking about. Okay, let's see what's up. Shalom, family. I just woke up to the truth that JC was a false god. Forgive me, y'all, because I was okay. It's all good, bro. You're on a serious journey now. You just gotta keep your zeal up and stay connected to the right people. Okay. So anyway, I was in chapter 44, right? And it says, verse 3 says, Psalm 44 and 3. For they go not, they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their arm save them, but the right hand. I just broke that down. And thy arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hast the favor unto them. Thou art my king, O God. Command deliverance for Jacob. See that? Deliverance. So if this angel gonna command deliverance, then he gotta be the deliverer. Ain't no JC around. JC ain't around nowhere. Okay? So it says 5. Through thee. See that? Look at this. This way back here in Psalms. Through thee will we push down our enemies. And through thy name, that's what I want you to see right here. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against thee. So what name? I just read it in Exodus chapter 23, verse 20. He told them, I'm sending this angel before me, you, and my name is in him. That's what he's talking about right here. Right? So, okay, let's keep going. So read a little more. This is, through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against thee. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me, but thou hast saved us. See that? So if he saved them, whoever this is a savior. For thou hast saved us from our enemies and hast put them to shame that hate us. In God we boast all day long and praise thy name forever. Selah. So we see right here who it is. Okay. Let me give you one more verse, and then we'll go back, get back on where he's at. I lost it. So that should be enough. Okay, so any comments? What I was just talking about. Okay, go to the current events.
We know you have choices when it comes to home improvement products. Now that's better. Let me tell you why. Better at appliances with our own service techs. Stein is better at paint.
Okay.
Hi everyone, Harry here to talk about the investigation of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. All right, so this is now a law enforcement matter, so not your typical fare of a particular prosecution, but it is down the middle DOJ and very much within my ken of experience. First point to note, I was U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Pennsylvania. This attempted assassination took place in the Western District of Pennsylvania, about 40 miles from Pittsburgh, in a community that I know quite well. Second point, the shooter is actually from a kind of bedroom community in Pittsburgh, a community of some 33,000 people, and an average income per household of about $100,000, not, in other words, the first thing your mind thinks of when you hear about a shooting in somewhat rural Pennsylvania that is a lone white poor male from a rural community who maybe has gotten caught up in some of the domestic terrorism activity that really is, as it turns out, rife in the rural pockets of all of Pennsylvania. The saw goes, Pennsylvania is Pittsburgh to the west, Philadelphia to the east, Alabama in between, and to the extent you endorse that, it's in that Alabama region that you see a fair bit, and I saw a fair bit as U.S. Attorney of domestic terrorism. Third, I want to try to describe what is happening now, because there are two really big and separate questions. So there is a investigation of a crime. It's not a casual matter when the FBI opens a file and says there was an attempted assassination of a former president, a serious federal crime. That's something that exists and must be closed out. And it was very telling to former law enforcement or law enforcement folks that the FBI, which had not had a role and doesn't have a role in the protection of candidates in these sorts of events, had moved in and asserted control over the investigation. They have now been not displaced, but well, they have been displaced from the very top perch of who's running this, because point 4, and the thing I really want to drive home, the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, has cleared his schedule and put himself atop this investigation. I saw him do this in Oklahoma City. He means business. He is intense and deeply focused and will be really marshaling. So the FBI is now just one agency that is reporting to him, along with the ATF, and they are there because there were explosives found in Crooks, the shooter's car, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Pennsylvania, my old office, which has now got the ticket for if there were a federal crime here, that's where it would be brought. Now you might ask, what are the prospects for a federal crime here when the obvious perpetrator is dead and had his head been blown away? And it's a fair point, but not a conclusive one, because a file was opened and there's a national urgency to know and a bureaucratic justification to know what the hell happened, because, and this is point 5, this guy seems to me more of a lone wolf than anybody we've seen to date, which is why my mind went immediately to an explanation about mental illness. Well, not immediately. What one's mind immediately in these events goes to explanations about being caught up in domestic terrorism. So my first thought is I want to see the social media. I want to see his crazy interactions with other crazy people. And there may be those. The FBI now has the phone, which was password protected, but is going through it. But every indication we have so far, including the FBI's first saying, which is their first order of business, and they wouldn't do lightly, that they don't think there is any greater risk out there. Because if he had known Confederates who were working with him, then they wouldn't have said that, and it would be their total focus to, find and immobilize those folks. So we really have, it seems to me, from the outside, but applying my kind of, intuition, having been right in the middle, that if this guy seems to be really a lone wolf, you're hearing classmates say, not a crazy guy they wanted to report to the authorities, but a quiet guy on his own. But there's some really unanswered questions about what was his motive. How the hell did he make the plans to do this? Did he train? Did he practice? We're told he didn't make the high school rifle team, which is a big deal. I can report to you in Butler. I know that sounds crazy to some. how did he plan it all? So there's, you know, all that part about, we now know about the gun. It looks like a good old AR-15 from his father, who possesses over a dozen guns. That first part is one, but then you've seen some suggestions from them that, well, that part was local law enforcement, Secret Service is all about protecting the site, protecting the former president, and knowing the vulnerabilities. So some terribly egregious thing happened there. And then in the actual event, you know, you can't, of course, just anytime you see someone blow them away, but that's a long time where really essentially nothing happened. There's even a suggestion that there were local law enforcement in the very building where Crooks is climbing on the roof.
Okay, comments on that? Anybody got any comments on that? Yeah, I see right here. See what the brother's talking about. Okay, yeah, I can go for that. Okay. Yeah, so right here, brother said he think it's staged. Yeah, I think it was staged shoot. Yeah, so like I was saying before, if anybody want to be able to come up on the stage, you just have to call so we can get the link that we can send it to you. It's 337-802-0889. So you want to be able to engage. Okay. So with that being said, we go to our next event.
Only way, this will be the only way to prove you legal identity. And so if you don't participate in that system as far as the state.
Let me get that. I'm on the wrong one. Sorry about that.
Louisiana homeowners, are you considering going solar but are afraid of the huge price tag attached? Most people don't know this, but countless homeowners can make the switch to solar without a down payment. And let's also not forget that the federal government has approved a 30% tax.
Now let's tell you about the other man making headlines, Donald Trump's running mate, his pick for vice president. That's J.D. Vance. If you do not follow U.S. politics, it may have come as a bit of a surprise. You may have expected a Vivek Ramaswamy or a Ron DeSantis. But among Republicans, it was apparently the obvious choice. First, let's take a look at his career. Vance hails from the U.S. state of Ohio. He has served in the U.S. Army, including in the Iraq War. He also has a law degree from Yale. After that, he joined an investment firm in Silicon Valley. But Vance's big moment came in the year 2016. That's when he published a memoir, Hillbilly Elegy. That's what it was called. This book narrates his life in rural and working class America, and it struck a chord with a lot of people. The book ended up being a bestseller. Interestingly, Vance did not support Donald Trump in the year 2016. He was a vocal critic at the time. He called Trump an American Hitler, a terrible candidate that he would never support. So what changed his mind? Well, Vance says that Trump's policies forced a rethink. Others say that it was just political opportunism. Either way, it has worked, because in 2022, Vance was elected to the US Senate, and now he is Trump's pick for vice president. Take a look at his nomination at the Republican convention.
The question is on the motion that Senator J.D. Vance be nominated by acclamation. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
Now, the obvious question is this: why Vance? There are mainly 4 reasons behind Donald Trump's pick. Number 1 is age. J.D. Vance is 39 years old. Trump is twice his age, and Joe Biden is more than twice his age. So the nomination is like a balancing act for the Republican ticket. An old president, but a young vice president. Reason number 2 is policy. Vance is almost always on the same page as Donald Trump. And when he's not, he won't push his opinion. Instead, he will change it. Just consider abortion. Earlier, Vance had a radical position on the issue of abortion. He said even victims of rape or incest should not get an abortion. But Donald Trump's position is different. A, he believes in exceptions for rape. And B, he wants US states to set the law on abortions. So what did J.D. Vance do? He backed away from his previous position. Same with foreign policy. Vance has echoed Trump's position on Ukraine. First, he wanted to stop military aid to Kiev, but now he wants negotiations to end the war.
Russia would not invade Ukraine if Donald Trump had been president. Everybody agrees with it. I think what President Trump has promised to do is go in there, negotiate with the Russians and Ukrainians, bring this thing to a rapid close so that America can focus on the real issue, which is China.
Across continents, what?
Okay. Any comments on that? For people that don't know, J.D. Vance is Trump's running mate. He chose him over the weekend. Okay. Okay, so with that being said, got a little need to know information right here.
Or the private sector is concerned, you don't exist. So by not participating in that system, you're inherently excluded from the economic system and really essentially everything. It's going to be a problem, reaction, solution type of situation where they've already made the solution, they've already developed what they want to be the new financial governance system after this new Bretton Woods moment. They just need some sort of big event on the scale of World War II or some large event that's equally disruptive in order to be like, all right, now it's time for a new financial governance system.
About a year ago, while speaking at the Global Finance Summit in Paris, French President Emmanuel Macron said the world needs a public financial shock to fight global warming. Around the same time, World Economic Forum founder and executive chairman Klaus Schwab also made a similar statement about...
Okay.
economy. In his words, every country from the United States to China must participate, and every industry from oil and gas to tech must be transformed. We need a great reset of capitalism, Schwab added in an article published on the non-governmental organization's website. According to popular investigative journalist Whitney Webb, what we are witnessing is the birth of a new international monetary system, a replacement for the current Bretton Woods system built solely on...
So he said that they're replacing, it's a new system coming in place. The previous one was Bretton Woods. So if you go back and look at what happened at Bretton Woods was right after World War II. They brought a chaos with the World War. Then the new change came. So this blockchain thing is taking place of Bretton Woods. So guess what? Another world war got to happen. So the thing about it too, when you understand, you do your homework, Bretton Woods is when they made a deal to get the land of Israel for these fake Jews that's over there. It was all tied to Bretton Woods.
The blockchain to aid the complete surveillance and censorship of every aspect of our lives. Whitney's warnings are based on the words of several global elites and WEF puppets like Macron, as well as the words of Mark Carney, former governor of the Bank of England and Bank of Canada, and the UN Special Envoy for Climate Action and Finance, who said the three pillars of the New World Order are digital IDs, CBDCs, and ESG. In a recent discussion with Mark Goodwin, writer and editor-in-chief at Bitcoin Magazine, Whitney warns that all world governments are pushing this New World Order agenda, proudly sponsored by the ultra-rich and powerful, including Silicon Valley executives like Larry Fink, who wants to tokenize all existing assets and commodities, as well as the natural world. Whitney warns that from forests to rivers, mountains, and lakes, everything will soon become a commodity. owned and traded by the super rich and powerful to make them even stronger and move them closer to their goal of completely dominating the rest of us. During the conversation with Goodwin, Whitney discusses two important parts of the New World Order plans: digital IDs and natural world tokenization, warning that Schwab, Fink, and useful puppets like Macron are on the verge of achieving their grand plans, and how disastrous that would be for us all. As we bring you clips from the video, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
In this context, I think the digital ID is a key enabler of the surveillance, knowing what everyone is doing at the transactional level and being able to tweak that micromanagement based on a person's activity, because the digital ID isn't just limited to the financial system, right? It's like your travel, your health history, your career history, your education credentials, your access to telecommunications, social media, the internet. You know, with the new AI era, right, they can fuse all the data, analyze it, you know, and depending on how they develop that AI algorithm, use it to control people really in unprecedented ways. I think the digital ID and the CBDC and its private sector equivalence project is something that we're always sort of intended to be the same system. So there's documents from the UN, from the BIS, and related groups that are sort of that have been working on this for years. That essentially frame one as essential to the other, using words about, you know, this is inclusionary, sort of, you know, the whole, I guess, marketing behind digital ID is that everyone needs a legal ID because otherwise they're unable to access essential services, right? And so the idea is we all have to be included in the system, and they directly link that to the concept of financial inclusion and banking the unbanked, which you brought up earlier. But inherently, these systems actually function in an exclusionary way, based on how they've been set up. You know, they have essentially said that this is the only way, this will be the only way to prove you legal identity. And so if you don't participate in that system, as far as the state or the, you know, the private sector is concerned, you don't exist. So by not participating in that system, you're inherently excluded from the economic system and really essentially everything. So you have to onboard to the surveillance state or be excluded from everything. So it's, you know, being marketed as inclusion, but it's really inherently exclusionary.
How does this system get triggered? How do we move into the Mark Carney-ism?
Well, I think they sort of give it away when they say that this is the new Bretton Woods movement that needs to be seized. So Bretton Woods was what came out of World War II, essentially, and was the creation of a new financial governance system after World War II. And this is essentially an effort to create a new financial governance system that was announced well before any sort of crisis like that, but it's probably going to need a crisis of that level to be implemented and convince people to onboard at scale. And if you subscribe to the theory that all wars are bankers' wars, which there is plenty of evidence to support that, I would say, that seems to suggest that perhaps, you know, this is the it's going to be a problem reaction solution type of situation where they've already made the solution, they've already developed what they want to be the new financial governance system after this new Bretton Woods moment. They just need some sort of big event on the scale of World War II or some large event that's, you know, equally disruptive in order to be like, all right, now it's time for a new financial governance system after this big event like they did after World War II.
Okay. Any comments on that? So that's what's coming. That's what you're looking at. They concocting right as we speak. Anybody got any comments on it? Okay. Yeah, so that's how they do it. Over and over again. They World War I, World War II. So you know, shouldn't expect anything different because they see you look around, you can see they authority and their power and all that is being denigrated. So the only thing they know to do is bring war and chaos, try to stay afloat. But prophecy didn't caught up with them. And the Creator and the Lord of hosts, you know, it's daytime. It's already prophesied. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna open it up for some Q&A. Anybody want any kind of thing they want to talk about, or they want any comments on something, or dialogue?
No, sir.
Nobody have nothing? Okay. I'm gonna play this right here. It's I thought it was pretty interesting. Then we go to the Book of Jubilees. It's yeah, and then you want to do your research. What I was just playing was BlackRock. I don't know if anybody heard of them, but this is a huge company that came on the scene and controlling everything. Right? It's Esau, but they just got a new face. It's called BlackRock. You might want to Google it and do some research on it. So if you come up, you'll know what it's about. Okay, so right here.
Because his style of leadership does not match the global agenda of the white power structure. Donald Trump is not a Rainbow Gang supporter. The power structure needs the Rainbow Gang to infiltrate African culture. The power structure needs the Rainbow Gang to infiltrate African civilization. The power structure needs the Rainbow Gang to infiltrate African society. Donald Trump doesn't support the Rainbow Gang. America is losing her global prominence. Can't be pro-vaccination and pro-transgenderization, Donald Trump. If you can't push the population control agenda of the power structure, we can't give you that White House again. They pulling Donald Trump's chain. They are scared to give him the White House again because the global agenda is vaccination and transgenderization in the service of African racial extermination. I said the global agenda is vaccination and transgenderization. Trump can't play by the rules. Nashville, Tennessee. If Donald Trump can't play by the rules, Chattanooga, Tennessee. If Donald Trump can't play by the rules, then they can't give him the seat. They needed him in post-Obama America. They needed him. Obama put too much sugar in the Kool-Aid. They had to balance that shit out a little bit. Barack Obama put too much sugar in the American Kool-Aid. They had to balance out the energies. They needed Donald Trump post-Obama.
Okay.
I've been taking this nitric oxide flow, and it's been really helping.
But they gotta let Trump know we are in control. Donald Trump is not a traditional politician. He's not used to playing games. Donald Trump is not a Joe Biden. He's not a Barack Obama, Bill Clinton. He don't know how to lie and manipulate, be humble. He don't know how to do that. He's straight business. So that's what the indictment about. That's what the indictment is about. He may not be what they need if they want to get Africa back from China. He may not be what they need if they want to get Africa back from China. He may not be what they need if they want to get Africa back from China, because America's problem, France's problem, Germany's problem, Belgium's problem, Canada's problem, England's problem isn't BRICS per se. They're concerned that BRICS may go after the resources of Africa and block them out. They already got a problem with Russia. They already got a problem with China. They already got a problem with Russia. They already got a problem with China.
Good.
Okay.
Today is still.
Any comments on that?
I haven't heard of him, sir.
Say that again.
I said I have not heard of when you said that group, the black. Forget
Yeah,
the last
BlackRock.
names. Yes, sir.
BlackRock.
Right. I haven't heard of them before,
Okay.
but I'll look them up. Yes, sir.
Anybody else got anything for us? I'm going to go read a few chapters out of Jubilees pertaining to what happened and tied to the scriptures. What happened with Isaac what happened when Isaac died, Isaac's death in his funeral. Okay, so it's in the book of Jubilees. Start reading out of we'll start at verse 37. It says it's Jubilees 37. On the day that Isaac, the father of Jacob and Esau, died, the sons of Esau heard that Isaac had given the eldest portion to his younger son Jacob, and they were very angry. So let's look at that right quick. So you go back, you remember Esau was born first, so he was the elder. He's the one who was in charge of. He's the one who was to receive the birthright, which means that predominantly most of the inheritance of Isaac goes to the oldest son, which was Esau. But we know Esau made an agreement with Jacob that he didn't want it. He sold his birthright. So nobody wants to deal with that. But he sold his birthright to Jacob. So at the point when it's time for him to get the birthright, he already knew that. So he should have stepped up and told Isaac, I gave Jacob the birthright, I sold it to him. But he didn't do that. So anyway, verse 2, 37 and 2 says, they argued with their father, saying, why has your father given Jacob? See that right here. All you got to do is answer. It says, this is sons. They argued with their father, saying, why has your father given Jacob the portion of the elder and passed you over, even though you are the elder and Jacob the young, right? And he said to them, because I sold my birthright to Jacob for a small portion of lentil soup. And on the day of my father sent me to hunt, catch, and bring him something that he should eat and bless me, Jacob came with deceit and brought my father food and drink. And my father blessed him and put me under the hand. So let's go back, read it again. He just told him what happened, right? He says, verse 3, he said to them, because I sold my birthright to Jacob, right, for a small portion of lentil, right? And on the day my father sent me to hunt, catch, and bring him something that he should eat and bless me, Jacob came with deceit and brought my father food and drink, and my father blessed him and put me under his hand. So let's look at this so you get a proper understanding of it. So two different events when it comes to our culture, Israelite culture. So we got a blessing that's passed down. That's when the right hand, you lay the right hand on the eldest son. So Esau just said he knew between him and Jacob, he had already gave him the birthright. So that's another blessing within itself. But he had already given him. But what he pissed off about, he says that Jacob came in and got the blessing too. But what he don't understand is they both tied together. They connected at the hip. The blessing and the birthright and the blessing tied together. If you gave the birthright up, then the blessing comes with it. Okay, so let's look at it. Verse 4. Now our father has. Then he says that, which you have to understand. This is the last part of verse 3. My father blessed him and put me under his hand. So what do you mean by put him under his hand? He put Esau is subject to Jacob now. That's a divine authority in heaven. You can't get once the Most High proclaimed that, you can't get out from under it. You can do flips and everything else, but you can't get from under it. It's divine. It's just like a prophecy. Like these end time prophecies, they flipping and dipping and doing all this, but they can't get out from under it. It's gonna go down just like he said. So anyway, verse 5 says, Jacob, Esau's, verse 4. neither our father has caused Jacob and me to swear that we shall not devise evil plans against his brother, each other, and that we should continue in love and in peace, each with his brother, and not make our ways corrupt. And they said to him, we shall not listen to you to make peace with him. We are stronger than him, and we are more powerful than he is. We shall depose him, kill him, and destroy him and his sons. If you will not go with us, we shall hurt you also. So here we go right here. This is what I was telling you the other day. Now I said it on several occasions. So go back to the blessing back when they was born in Genesis. Let me go there. Okay, let's go to Genesis. Okay, when they was born. Genesis. Okay. And like I said, this right here is another misunderstanding that people get. Okay. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, this is the birth of Jacob and Esau. This Genesis 25, starting at verse 19, says, these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the wife, the daughter of Bethuel of the Syrian of Panaram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord. So we entreated the Lord of hosts, Michael, for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, the wife, conceived. And then here we go. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. I broke that down to you. She went to Abraham. That's how you inquire. You got to go to a prophet or a man of God in order to inquire the Lord. So you can't go to no Chinese man or the Pope. You got to go to a priest, a Levite, or a priest of the Lord. So he says, so she went and inquired of the Lord. 23, and the Lord said unto her, two nations, Abraham, you go to the book of Joshua, it tells you that. Abraham told her what to do. It says, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, two manner of people shall separate from thy bowels. Now here you go, right here. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So right here, you would assume that Jacob is stronger than Esau because of, you know, what we know happened. How Jacob his name was changed to Israel, and he got the heaven behind him. So you would assume he's stronger, but that's not what he's talking about. Well, I showed you how Esau went and married these Canaanite women. And these Canaanite women was giant, women of a stature. And then so he had all these boys, which were giants. That's why they said that right here. Let's read it again. I'm back over here in Jubilees 37, verse 5, right? Jubilees 37 and 5. They said unto him, we shall not listen to you, right? To make a peace with him. We are stronger than him. Why are you saying that? Because they're giants. They married, they got their DNA and their genetics from their mama. Zephno, Amalek, all them was they was men of stature because the way their mama was, right? That's why Esau to this day followed the woman lineage, contrary to what the Most High told them about the man. They follow the woman's lineage. So and just for GP, they intermingle with these Horites, which is on Mount Seir, redhead giants. Let that frame out. So anyway, so we are stronger than him, and we are more powerful than him. So right here, that breaks down what we just read over there in Genesis. Okay, and we shall depose him and kill him and destroy him and his sons if you will not go with us we shall hurt you also. Go back to Cain and Abel. It's right here just to tell you that Cain and Abel ain't got the same daddy. Cain wicked as hell, just like they are. They violent. We know what Cain did to Abel. Same story right here. So anyway, verse 6. Listen, let us send to Aram, Philistia, Moab, and Ammon, and let us take chosen men who are trained in battle, and let us go, okay, against him and do battle with him, and let us exterminate him on the earth before he grows strong. And that father said to them, do not go and do not make war with him, or you shall fall before him. See that? So why is he telling them that? Because what Isaac told him, I'm put your brother under his hand. I didn't put you under your brother's hand. You can't. That's ordained in heaven. Whatever you plot, you come up with, you're gonna lose. But see, they don't understand that. They're like these folks today. They don't understand. They don't understand all the stuff that you've done is coming back. You messing with the people of God. You done lied and discontinued their heritage, and then you thinking everything cool. No, it ain't cool. So verse 7 says, their father said to them, do not go and do not make war with him, or you shall fall before him. They said to him, this is how you have acted from your youth until this day. You have continued to put your neck under his yoke, and you shall not listen to these words. See that? So Jacob know better, but these boys don't. They come from a different stock, right? It ain't given to them to understand. Then they sent to Abram and to Adulam and to the friends of their father, and they also hired 1,000 chosen men of the war. And there came to them from Moab, from the children of Ammon, those who were hired, 1,000 chosen men, and from Philistia, 1,000 chosen warriors, and from Edom, and from the Horites, 1,000 chosen warriors, and from the Kitchen. So look at this. It's the Romans. It's the Romans. Kitchen, mighty warriors. They said to their father, go out with them and lead them, or else we shall kill you. So let's look at this verse 10. Let me read it again. There shall come from them, and there came from them, to them from Moab, right? That's one of Lot's sons. And from children of Ammon, there's a lot of other sons that he had for his daughter. Those who were hired, 1,000 chosen men from Philistia. Remember these names. We're going to go somewhere else in a minute. 1,000 chosen men from Philistia, 1,000 chosen warriors, and from Edom, and from the Horites, 1,000 chosen warriors, and from Kitchen, right? Mighty warriors. Now let's go back and let's look at it. I'm in Psalms 83. See if these names don't match up. I'm in Psalms 83. You got people always reading Psalms 83, but we're going to connect the dots on it tonight. So go to Psalms 83. Okay. And it says, a prayer for the destruction of Israel's enemies. This Psalm of Asaph. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for thy enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. And they have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Here you go. Tell me these names don't match. Verse 6, Tabernacle Edom, the Ishmaelites, Moab, the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, that's one of Esau's sons. Amalek, Philistine, we just read that, with the inhabitants of Tyre. There they go right here. This is word for word out of Psalms 83. That's over here in Jubilees. But they tell you not to read Jubilees, right? Okay. So I'm gonna read 10 again. Okay. this Jubilee chapter 37, verse 10. And there came from Moab and from the children of Ammon those who were hired, 1,000. This the tumult. Israel's enemy that came together to cut us off from being a nation, right? So let's look what they say. Those were hired, 1,000 chosen men from Philistine, 1,000 chosen warriors from Edom, and from the Horites, 1,000 chosen warriors, and from Chechem, mighty warriors. They said, here you go right here. They said to their father, go out with them and lead them, or else we'll kill you. And he was filled with boiling anger on seeing that his sons were forcing him to go before them and to lead them against Jacob, his brother. Okay. Then 12, and he was 13. But afterwards, he remembered all the evil that laid hidden in his heart against Jacob, his brother, and he did not remember the oath he had sworn to his father and to his mother that he would plan no evil against Jacob, his brother, all his days, because Jacob was in mourning for his wife Leah, and he did not know they were coming to battle against him until they approached the tower with 4,000 soldiers and chosen warriors. The men of Hebron sent to him, saying, look, your brother has come against you to fight. He has with him 4,000 men carrying swords, shields, and weapons. They told him this because they loved Jacob more than Esau. So they told him that Jacob was a more gracious and merciful man than Esau. But Jacob would not believe until they came very near to the tower. And he closed the gates of the tower, and he stood on the battlement and spoke to his brother Esau and said, noble is the comfort you have come to give me concerning the death of my wife. Is this the oath that you swore to your father and again to your mother before they died? You have broken the oath, and on the moment that you swore to your fathers, you were condemned. Then Esau answered and said to him, neither the children of men nor the beasts of the earth have sworn an oath of righteousness and kept it forever. Every day they lay evil plans one against another regarding how they might kill their adversary or their foe. You will hate my children and me forever. So there is no observing of the brotherhood with you. Hear these words that I declare unto you. If the boar can change its skin and make its bristles as soft as wool, or if it can cause horns to sprout out of his head like the horns of a stag or a sheep, then will I observe the tie of brotherhood, right, with you. Like beasts separate themselves from their mother and fight. You and I have never been brothers. If the wolves make peace with the lamb and not devour or do them violence, and if their hearts are toward them for good, then there shall not be peace in my heart toward you. If the lion becomes the friend of the ox and make peace with him, and if he is bound under one yoke with him and plows with him, then will I make peace with you. And when the ravens become white as raven, a white bird, then know that I have loved you and shall make peace with you. You will be rooted out, and your sons shall be rooted out, and there shall be no more peace with you. So right here, he's fulfilling Psalms 83 right here. He said they're not gonna be a nation no more. We don't want them to be a nation. Your sons shall be rooted out, and there shall be no more peace with you. Jacob saw that Esau had decided in his heart to do evil toward him, and that he desired with all his soul to kill him. Jacob saw that Esau had come pouncing like the wild boar, which charges of the spear that is set to pierce and kill it, and yet does not even slow down. Then he spoke to his own people and to his servants and told them that Esau and his men were going to attack him and all his companions. So that was 37. Any comments on that? I'm gonna read 38. We'll close out. That was Psalm 37. I mean, Jubilees 37. Any comments? Anything ring a bell? Okay, we go to 38. After that, Judah spoke to Jacob his father and said to him, bend your bow, father, and send forth your arrows and bring down the adversary. Check it out. After that, Judah spoke to Jacob his father and said to him, bend your bow, father, and send forth your arrows and bring down the adversary. So right here, telling you who the adversary is. You got to fumble with it no more. Esau the adversary. Right? That's who over in the land of Israel right now. That's who these bankers are we just dealing with. BlackRock, Illuminized bankers, the Esau. Say, and kill the enemy. So this the adversary and this the enemy. You have the power to do it. We will not kill your brother because he is your king and he is like you. So we will honor his life. So what are you talking about? Jacob is they came from the same mother. But these boys right here, they come from another stock. They ain't like they different. They didn't turn Jacob. They didn't turn Esau heart. He like Cain now. So then it said 2. Then Jacob bent his bow, sent forth the arrow, and struck Esau his brother on the right side of his chest and killed him. And again he sent forth an arrow, struck Adrian the Armenian on the left side of the chest, and it drove him backwards and killed him. Then the sons of Jacob and their servants went out, dividing themselves into companies on the 4 sides of the tower. So one thing I want to do, you can search this out because there's something going on with it. But verse 3 says, again he sent forth arrows and struck Adrian. Probably want to figure out who that is because there's something going on with that. Adorian, the Armenian. So his name is Adoran, the Armenian. Right? Find out who that is because something going on with that. Anyway, verse 4. Judah went out in front. Naphtali and Gad, along with 50 servants, went to the south side of the tower, and they killed all they found before them. Not one individual escaped. Levi, Dan, and Asher went out on the east side of the tower along with 50 men, and they killed all the warriors of Moab and Ammon. Reuben, Issachar, and Zebulun went out on the north side of the tower along with 50 men, and they killed all the warriors of the Philistines. Reuben's son, Simeon, Benjamin, Enoch went out on the west side of the tower along with 50 men, and they killed 400 men, stout warriors of Edom, the giants, and of the Horites. 600 fled. 4 of the sons of Esau fled with them and left their fathers lying killed. Left their father lying killed as he had fallen on the hill that is in Adurim. Okay? Get it? Okay? And the sons of Jacob pursued them to the mountain of Seir. And Jacob buried his brother on the hill that is in Adurim, and he returned to his house. The sons of Jacob crushed the sons of Esau. Here you go right here. This Esau, Isaac prophesied this right here. The sons of Jacob crushed the sons of Esau in the mountains of Seir, made them bow. Look at this. See, they don't tell you all this over in the New Testament. I mean, in the King James, because they're trying to lead you to the New Testament, the JC. But it says right here, 9, the sons of Jacob crushed the sons of Esau in the mountains of Seir, made them bow their necks so that they became servants of the sons of Jacob. So right here, this is what Esau told him. Go somewhere and sit down. You don't know what you're talking about. Isaac can already put a divine commandment on us. And if we don't follow it, Jacob gonna make us bow down to him. Here you go, right here. The sons of Jacob crushed the sons of Esau in the mountains of Seir and made them bow their necks so that they became servants to the sons of Jacob, right? They sent a message to their father to inquire whether they should make peace with them or kill them. So they sent to Jacob. And Jacob sent word to his sons that they should make peace. They made peace with them, but also placed the yoke. Here you go. This is the prophecy. They also placed the yoke of servitude on them. So they paid tribute to Jacob and to his sons always. And they continued. So this is where the hatred coming from right here. This is where the hatred, the transatlantic slave trade and the Saharan slave trade. This is where the hatred came from right here. They made them get down on the ground and bow their head down to him. Okay? They ain't never forgot that. And they continue to pay tribute. Not only that, they had to pay tribute to them. They continued to pay tribute to Jacob until the day that he went down into Egypt. And the sons of Edom have not escaped the yoke. See that? He couldn't get out of it. It's a divine prophecy. The sons of Jacob have not escaped the yoke of servitude imposed by the 12 sons of Jacob until this day. These are the kings that reigned in Edom before they were any king over the children of Israel until this day in the land of Edom. So I'm not going to try to read these names. Get over here to 18. Adab died. Shimon from Armik ruled in his place. Solomon died, and Saul, Reba by the river, ruled in his place. Saul died, and Benan, the son of Ichabod, ruled in his place. And Benan, the son of Ichabod, died, and Adab ruled in his place. And the name of the wife was Mithabith, the daughter of Madarik, the daughter of Mithrilah. These are the kings who reigned in the land of Egypt. Okay, let me read. I'll read 39. Maybe we'll close up. Let me see what we get. Yeah, let me read 39. Jacob lived in the land that his father journeyed in, which is in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph was 17 years old when he took him down into the land of Egypt. And Potiphar, the eunuch of Pharaoh, the chief cook, bought him. He made Joseph the messenger over Potiphar's entire house, and the blessings of the Lord came on the house of the Egyptian because of Joseph. And the Lord caused him to prosper in all that he did. Okay? The Egyptian turned everything over to the hands of Joseph because he saw that the Lord was with him, and the Lord caused him to prosper him in all that he did. Joseph's appearance was beautiful, and his master's wife watched Joseph, and he loved him, and he wanted him to have sex with her. So let's go back. We'll show you what happened. The transatlantic slave trade. So they knew who we were, just like he said right here. Verse 3, this 39, the Jubilees. This Potiphar, the Egyptian, he made Joseph, look at this, he made Joseph the manager over Potiphar's entire house, and the blessings of the Lord came on the house of the Egyptian because of Joseph. So Potiphar understood that. We're going to see that right here. And the Lord caused him to prosper in all that he did. So look at this. The Egyptian turned everything over to the hands of Joseph because he saw that the Lord was with him and that the Lord caused him to prosper him in all he did. Same thing with the transatlantic slave trade. They knew who we were. They got us, brought us here because they knew that by us being here, they was going to prosper. So it wasn't no accident. They knew that. You gotta look at who it is that's behind it. Esau, he behind it. He knew that wherever we was at, he's gonna prosper. That's why he's so adamant about not letting us go. Okay, so 5. And Joseph's appearance was beautiful, and his mother's wife, and the master's wife, watched Joseph, and she loved him and wanted him to have sex with her, but he did not surrender his soul because he remembered the Lord. the words of which Jacob, his father, used to read to him from the writings of Abraham, that no man should commit fornication with a woman who has a husband, for him the punishment of death has been ordained in the heavens before the Most High God, and the sins will be recorded against him in eternal books, which are always in the presence of the Lord. So check it out. Let's look at that. This big right here. Let me highlight this. Okay. So look at this. Let's go in on it. Make it make sense. Okay. So let's look at what's being said. So it says, read it again, verse 6. But he did not surrender his soul. This Joseph. This is thinking like a Hebrew right here. This is what we got to get back to. But he did not surrender his soul because he remembered. Check this out. He remembered. So this is a dead giveaway right here. That's why they don't want you reading these books. But he did not surrender his soul because he remembered the Lord, right? And the words with Jacob, check it out. The words with Jacob, his father, used to read to him from the writings of Abraham. Come on. Is we reading the writings of Abraham? Come on. You that? From the writings of Abraham. Okay? That's just part of it. The writings of Abraham. Come on. So let's look at it. It says that no man should commit fornication with a woman who has a husband. For him that the punishment of death has been ordained in the heavens before the Most High God, and the sin will be recorded against him in eternal books, which are always in the presence of the Lord. So when you understand what the Lord is, it's Michael, Lord of hosts. So it says the eternal books. So what's the eternal book? Let's go. Let's look at it. Let's see what the eternal books is. Go to Daniel. Daniel, chapter 10, right? And let Gabriel tell you. Like I said, who you gonna listen to? Gabriel, or you gonna listen to Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Paul? So right here in Daniel chapter 10, verse 19, says Gabriel talking to Daniel and said, "O man, greatly beloved, fear not, peace be unto thee. Be strong, yea, be strong." And when he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened. And he said, "Let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me." Then said he, "Knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now I will return to fight with the prince of Persia. And when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Greece shall come." Now here you go. Here you go to understand it. Gabriel talking. Verse 21. But I, Gabriel, will show thee that which is noted in the scriptures of truth. That's the same eternal books that's in heaven. So Gabriel looking on this book, and that's how they're able to come down and tell the prophet what's going to happen, because they're looking on this book. And it says right here, "For I will show thee that which is noted in the scriptures of truth." And now here you go. "There is none that holdeth with me in these things but Michael El, your prince." See that? They go Michael again. So if they were so slick and so super sharp, they would have knew to take all this out. Okay, but it says 21, "But I will show thee that which is noted in the scripture of truth. There is none that holdeth with me in these things but Michael El, your prince." So now let's look at it and let's get the golden nugget out of it. We'll go back over here. I'm in Jubilees, right? Let's look at it. I'm in Jubilees 39. I'm back at verse 6. Say, but he did not surrender this Joseph, but he did not surrender his soul because he remembered the Lord. So who the Lord is? Let's see who the Lord is. He remembered the Lord and the words which Jacob, his father, used to read to him from the writings of Abraham, right? That no man should commit fornication with a woman who has a husband. For him that the punishment of death has been ordained in the heavens before the Most High God, and the sin will be recorded against him. Look at this, against him in eternal books. I just showed you what eternal books is. Scripture is true. But here go to understand it, which are always in the presence of the Lord. Who the Lord is? This ain't Gabriel. Gabriel just told you that it's only him and Michael the one looking on the book. So see that? Let that ferment. Okay, verse 7. Joseph remembered these words and refused to have sex with her. And she begged him for years, but he refused and would not listen. But while he was in the house, she embraced him and held him tightly in order to force him to sleep with her. She closed the doors of the house and held on to him, but he left his garment in her hands and broke through the doors and ran out from the presence. The woman saw that he would not sleep with her, and she slandered him in the presence of his master, saying, "Your Hebrew servant, whom you love, sought to force me to have sex with him. And when I shouted for help, he fled and left his garment in my hands. I tried to stop him, but he broke through the doors." So let's look at that. Check this out. Come on now. Verse 10. Look at this. You gotta let this ferment. The woman saw that he would not sleep with her, and she slandered him in the presence of her master, Potiphar, right? Saying, "Your Hebrew servant, whom you love, sought to force me to have sex with him. And when I shouted for help, he fled and left his garment in my hands." So let that ferment. How the hell he trying to force you to have sex, and then he needed, you got the garment in your hands? Come on, let that ferment. He trying to rape you, but he done hauled ass, and you got the garment in your hand. Come on. You see, and I tried to stop him, but he broke through the door, right? And when the Egyptian saw Joseph's garment and the broken door, he heard the words of his wife. He threw Joseph into prison and put him in a place where the prisoners of the kings were kept. He was there in the prison, and the Lord gave Joseph favor in the sight of the chief of the prison guard and caused them to have compassion on Joseph, because he saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper. So see that? So everybody see this. Everybody, Potiphar saw it. Now he down in the prison. Now the prison guard see that the Lord is with Joseph, and that the Lord made all that he do prosper. Everybody see this. So he turned over all the things into his hands, and the chief of the prison guards knew of nothing that was going on in the prison, because Joseph did everything for him, and the Lord perfectly did, and he remained there 2 years. In the days of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, was very angry at his 2 eunuchs, and chief butler and the chief baker. He put them in prison, the prison facility of the house of the chief cook, where Joseph was kept. And the chief of the prison guards appointed Joseph to serve them, and he served them. And they both dreamed a dream, the chief butler and their baker, and they told it to Joseph. And he interpreted them so it happened. So he interpreted to them, so it happened to them. And Pharaoh restored the chief butler to his office, and he killed the chief baker, as Joseph had interpreted to him. Okay, but the chief butler forgot Joseph was in the prison, although he had informed him of what would happen to him. He did not remember to inform the Pharaoh how Joseph had told him about his dream, because he forgot. So we're gonna stop right there. So any comments on anything I read today? Anybody got any comments or questions about anything? Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What's up with you, D-Ray? You good?
Yeah, I've been good, man. Just a lot of work, man. A lot of stuff fell on me at one time, but I'm trying to climb out of it. But yeah, man. Right now I'm kind of studying the book of Samuel, man. I'm gonna talk to you later on.
Okay, yeah. You come out of it, bro. You good? Yeah, I've been seeing your pictures on the news feed.
You say what now?
Yeah, I've been seeing your pictures on the news feed, on my news feed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
Yeah, you always said, it's gonna come together,
Oh, yeah, it's gonna come together, bro. Just gotta stick with it. Stay in the
Appreciate
word.
that. Appreciate
Yeah,
that, man.
right. Shalom. I see everybody tomorrow for our reading through tonight.
Shalom.
All right.
Shalom, everyone.
Shalom, everyone.
Okay.